Welcome to Redbeard Radio. I'm Brian Keith, and we have a problem, folks, which I know I start off all the podcasts like that, but it's true. Here's the problem. If you want to support me for making this podcast, you can be one of my COO clients, which that costs a lot of money and it takes a lot of my time. Or you can join my Redbeard Accelerator at joinredbeard.com. And that's my group membership where I coach entrepreneurs together. And that's all good, but that also costs money and it costs time. There's no real way to easily support Redbeard Radio. Now, there's answers out there like Patreon for this, where you can pay me a little bit of money each month. You get to support the cause, go help pay for production costs, that kind of thing. But there's some downsides of Patreon. And there's some better ways out there that are coming online right now, better than Patreon, better than spending $5 or $10 a month with somebody to support them. And we're going to go talk with Jesse Herman, the founder of one of those, of a new tool that might well be something that your children think everyone has always used. It becomes ubiquitous as a way to support the content creators that you love and that add value to your life. The tool is called Let's Go Finance. The man is Jesse Herman. Jesse, welcome to the show.
Hey, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you because I'm part of a Patreon. I support John Robb through Patreon, a friend of mine who does great work. And his tagline is at the intersection of war, technology, and politics. And we do some live streams in there. I get a comment on his stuff. I just love his body of work. And he has a Patreon where it's $5 or $10 a month. And that gets you access into his inner circle. So you get a comment on his stuff, right? And go to some members only live streams, the usual stack for a content creator. And I love it. I love getting to support the guy. And I love that it's a small amount of money. It's not too much at all, right? But you're offering a new way that gets beyond the limitations of the usual, this typical currencies like the US dollar, and goes and invites us into a new way that has some huge advantages. And I'm excited for folks to hear about it. Now, if you're listening here and you're thinking, man, this is a conversation about crypto, I don't know, it's too much. We're going to make things really simple for you so it's easy to understand. And if you're listening and you're thinking, this is way too basic for me, please know that we are oversimplifying things so that folks who like Patreon, but also want to have something better, can grasp the concepts. So if you want to go deeper into any of this, you can get all the details at letsgo.finance in all their beautiful complexity. But we're going to keep this episode more on the simple side of things. So Jesse, let's start off. For Let's Go.Finance, instead of Patreon, where we're using dollars to support content creators, how are we supporting content creators?
Okay, so it is pretty simple, and I will do my best to simplify it as much as possible. But essentially what you do is you deposit crypto on the person or organization you want to support. And by doing this, it generates yield or interest, as the banks like to call it. And from this yield, it'll go to the person or organization that you want to support. Once you're done depositing the money, or what we call in crypto staking the money, you can remove 100%. So it actually costs you nothing. The difference between banks and crypto is the yield can be much higher. It is much higher. It can vary in percentages from 3% to up to 100% or even more, depending on the risk tolerance you're willing to take.
So let's give an example for listeners of Redbeard Radio. If someone wants to support the show, they could take $100 worth of Bitcoin and they could stake it with me, which means they don't have access to it in the moment. And then I get to enjoy the interest on the $100 of Bitcoin. But whenever they want to, they can just take the $100 back. It's not like Patreon where the money's gone. It's still theirs. Is that right?
Correct. And really where this comes in play, if you don't like to take risks, in crypto, the price goes up. And what people do is they move their crypto into USDC, which is tied to the dollar. So it's essentially a dollar bill in crypto form. And you can just stake that even and still earn like pretty nice yield and split that interest. Either you could split it so part of it goes to the person you're staking on, part of it goes to you, or all of it goes to the person that you're staking on as a way to support them. And that is basically zero risk.
So what you're telling me is that I could, of whatever portion of my assets I have, and this could even be an emergency savings account that I just keep some percentage of it in some exchange, that I could say, I want to go support content creators with half the interest I get on my emergency savings account, and I can move it around. So maybe this month, John Robb was amazing. So maybe I'm going to give him all of it this month. Maybe next month, some other creator that I enjoy, I'm going to say, I want to give them a quarter of the interest that comes out. I can do all that inside Let's Go Finance. Is that right?
That is correct.
That's incredible.
The interesting thing that we're putting together is the marketing is baked into the cake. In crypto, everybody's very tribal, right? It's like my coin's the best, your coin's the worst, all these types of things. With our platform, we do have a token. It's called the Ego token. But the people that participate, they're going to promote themselves. They're not promoting the token. A lot of times what you'll see on social media is some celebrity will promote a token. And you're like, well, why does a celebrity promote the token? It's kind of cringe. With our platform, you're just promoting yourself, just like you would promote a Patreon account. Now, also, I would like to say, I think Patreon is a great model, and it's worked for a lot of people, and they should continue with Patreon. We can complement Patreon. We're not looking to replace Patreon. In fact, you can create an account with us, and you have your own URL. You can have your own design. You can have your own logo, and you're essentially powered by us, kind of like a Shopify or WordPress store.
Uh-huh.
And we could integrate with existing social media sites, existing publishers. The staking cards or the different coins that people can stake on you would be possibly above your blog or on the right column or whatever it might be, just like a donate to PayPal button, right? It's just an entirely new way to donate. It's never been done before. So that's why I'm really passionate about this. And, we came up with the idea and was I sat on it for a couple months because, launching a crypto project did not sound like that much fun, to be honest. And it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we came up with this concept and the platform's ready. It's good to go.
Now, you also support NFTs, which for folks who are not familiar, a non-fungible token is a unique thing that only one person can own. And it can be digital art is the most common use of these right now. But I've wondered about using NFTs for selling future amounts of my time. Things like, hey, I'm going to sell an NFT of an entire day spent with me anywhere in the continental US at your location for, let's say, May 1st, 2023. I'll just sell that as long as the company I'm working with is, within my moral and ethical legal boundaries, right?
Okay.
And then sell it and see what happens. And you support NFTs. So tell me about how a company or creator could use your NFT tool.
Okay. So this is the second stage of development. It'll be out in 4 to 6 weeks. But we offer social NFTs. It's essentially like an Instagram feed, but it's all for sale. And so when you buy an NFT on our platform, you're actually buying a piece of real estate on an influencer's feed, which is kind of cool, right? Imagine if you could buy a piece of somebody's Instagram feed. That's essentially what we're offering. And so when you buy somebody's NFT, that post will actually go to your profile as well. It'll be on both profiles and all the comments will stay. So you're kind of hijacking a famous person or an influencer's social media. But as far as use case goes, imagine that you have an event company and there's people that are staking on your event company because they support your mission, they support what you guys do. Maybe they just think your parties are a lot of fun. Who knows? They're staking on your event company. Well, you can airdrop tickets to the people that have been staking certain amounts. So if you're meeting certain quotas by staking on that person, you can get the airdropped NFTs, which can be used as VIP passes, tickets to shows.
Huh.
Yeah, you just use your imagination. I like to find real use case. And with what we're doing, that is real use case. The social media stuff is fun. And there's a lot of projects that are launching right now that are bringing that to the table. And we are bringing that to the table as well. But I like really practical use case types of things. And the staking on an influencer, splitting the interest, I think that's a pretty easy concept to understand. It makes a lot of sense. It puts cash right in the pockets of the communities, organizations, the charities that you support. The airdrop NFTs, where there's real use case in the real world, is another thing that I really like. And I think that's going to catch on in a big way. It complements what we do with the staking, and it complements what people actually do in the real world.
That's all incredible, and it's getting a bit technical. Let's bring it back down to an actual one of your people using your platform, which is Operation Honeybee. Operation Honeybee is one of your featured folks there. They're a 501c3 nonprofit. How is Operation Honeybee going to use Let's Go Finance to further their mission?
Well, Operation Honeybee, I don't understand everything that they do exactly, but yeah, it is a 501c3 charity. I don't know how they're going to utilize our platform. If I'll be 100% honest with you, I could not tell you exactly what they're going to do.
Well, it's one of the fun things is that ideally, the very best platforms expand beyond what the creators understand when they build them. I've done some things with Keep, formerly known as Infusionsoft, the sales and marketing platform for small business, where I've done stuff that the people inside the company went, wow, we didn't know you could do that. Because they built a platform that's so extensible and so usable that people like me can push the limits.
Well, I'll say this. So there's a lot of charity tokens that I've launched in crypto. And it's like, well, why do you need a charity token? It seems like a scam to make a bunch of money, right? I mean, I did not create this with charities in mind. But I realized when I'm talking to people that, oh my gosh, like we might have created the perfect tool for recurring donations to charities, to churches. I mean, think about churches. People give 10% of their paycheck to the church. Well, you have to understand with crypto, there's people that are just sitting on millions and millions and millions of dollars in crypto. Mm-hmm. And they've made a bunch of money and they're not going to move it to their bank account. It's just going to sit in crypto. And so they're just looking for things to do with it. Wow. Maybe they've moved it to USDC because the market's gone down a little bit and they're just trying to take away risk. And there's DeFi platforms where you just stake. They're just like, you don't even know who the owners are, who the founders are, and they'll have hundreds of millions of dollars staked on the platforms. So, we were like, well, what if they staked on influencers or charities and churches and all this? Like, that would be insane, right? And that's the idea. But back to your point, exactly. Like, I really did not develop this to be a charity-minded venture. It was around Patreon because I come from the influencer marketing game, and I thought I want to create the perfect influencer marketing platform. And I feel like we've done that. But now I realize that, instead of cutting 10% of my paycheck or 5% or 3% to my church every week or every month, why wouldn't I rather just stake my crypto money, which, by the way, I have way more crypto than anything else. And by the way, I'm not moving it to my bank account. Mm-hmm. I have very little fiat. And this is how most people, I think, my age and younger are. Like, we don't have a bunch of money in our bank account, but we do have a bunch of money in Coinbase. So,
well, let's talk about that. If someone wants to go move some money to go stake somebody on Let's Go.Finance, is it just from Coinbase or BlockFi, or can I go to Let's Go.Finance, find a person and take out my credit card and pay him $10, or how does that work?
So you need a MetaMask wallet.
Okay.
It takes 5 minutes to set up a MetaMask wallet. You get a password. You can add it to your browser. And when you're logged into your MetaMask wallet and you go to our app, you're logged into our app.
Well, there we go.
So when you click sign up, it'll feed in your MetaMask wallet address. That's how you can accept payments and send payments. And that's it. Like, to be logged in to us, you just have to be logged in through your MetaMask wallet.
That's fantastic. For details on that process, folks, if you want more help, then go ahead and go to Let's Go.Finance and look for help there on that process. I want to dive in real quick onto what the process would actually look like if I, as a content creator, say, I would love to have people be able to stake me and get some returns. I want to know, in very brief, because we only have a few minutes here left, what does that process look like for me to sign up? And then what does that process look like for me, the creator, to actually get usable assets out of that I can go use to pay for production costs or whatever else? 2 big questions and 3 minutes. What can you do, Jesse?
app.letsgo.finance, create a MetaMask account, add it to your browser, go to app.letsgo.finance, just click sign up, and you just fill out the details. That takes another 5 minutes. You could say 10 to 15 minutes total, and you're set up. As far as once the money arrives in your wallet, to actually send it to the real world, you'd have to send it to your Coinbase account or Binance.us account if you're in the United States, and then just send it to your bank account from there. So those are the steps involved. MetaMask is the most used wallet in crypto. We will add other options at some point, but it's something that everybody needs to learn.
Yeah.
And we are training dozens or hundreds soon influencers on how to set up a MetaMask wallet. If you don't know how to do it yet, then your little cousin probably does, and he's way ahead of the game. And you need to figure it out. So in crypto, I've noticed everyone's just recycling market share. And it's like, I'll call it a scam. Maybe it's the wrong word, but they launch some scammy type project, and then they get promoted by another crypto company, and they just recycle market share, and they just keep doing this, and then they dump the price on retail. we're trying to bring in new people. That's our focus. Like most influencers that we talk to do not have a MetaMask wallet, which is crazy. You need to get a MetaMask wallet. That's the first thing. If we just train people to get MetaMask wallet that have influence, we are doing incredible good for the crypto space because people need to understand that. And, you can complain about censorship and all that all you want, but if you're still just putting in your email, your phone number, like the old days, then you're always going to be prone to censorship. We have a decentralized donation system through the MetaMask wallet. We don't need email. We don't need phone number. We don't need your credit card. That is the future, and that's where everything is going.
That sounds amazing. Jesse, if people want to go follow you and listen to more of the Let's Go Finance story, where are you at on Twitter?
So you can find us on Twitter at twitter.com/letsgofinance.
Let's Go Finance. Wonderful. And then if someone has some more basic questions around how do I set up a MetaMask wallet or any of the details of how am I going to get assets out of Let's Go Finance to go pay for production costs or anything else, where's the best place to ask for help on those kinds of questions?
Well, MetaMask.io does a great job on their website to set up a wallet. But we also have a form on our homepage that you can fill out. We can help you through the process. But I would suggest take 10 minutes, set up the MetaMask wallet yourself. Do everything exactly how they tell you it should be done. If you still have questions at that point, fill out the form. We can help you out.
Beautiful. Jesse, thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you so much for helping us see the future of what will become normal sooner than we think.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
Take care, folks.